So what makes sense now in apartment investing? What would you say makes sense? The class B and C of things, or the class A side of things? Because I know, in your portfolio too, you have a class A, but the one in Arkansas that's a class A, I believe.
Yes.
I think I saw it.
Yes, it was built in 21, so it's
the class A,
basically a new construction.
So what makes sense right now? The value add class B and C, or your typical class A?
Well, it's right now things are changing so fast in the market. What we thought a month ago or two ago, it's changing. So previously, what my approach was is just buying nicer apartments because you had a lot of cap rate compression where, you were seeing the same cap rates for A class, B, and C class. And so, I'll assume that your audience knows about cap rates and all this, so I won't take the time to go into it unless you ask me to, but
I mean, it's okay. Go on. It's part of your story. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. And so, basically a cap rate is, to just simplify it, is that it's a representation of the expected yield on an investment. And so just to make it as easy and attainable as possible here in the short conversation, okay, if it's an A class apartment, I mean, it's a nicer apartment, you're not expecting to get as high of a yield because, I mean, your demographic, is better. They're easier to manage. They have good credit. It's a nice apartment, pretty, everything is new. Okay. But B class is not as nice. C class is really not as nice. And so the lower in class you get is more risk in that investment. And so naturally you would want a higher yield on that investment or a higher cap rate. See. And so what happened over the last 5 years is that you were starting to see basically the same cap rates for A, B, and C class. So it didn't make any sense over a period of time to buy C class properties because it was so much harder to manage those. It's like, well, hey, if I can get the same yield in an A class property, I may as well buy A class. Well, now I think we're beginning to see actual, more realistic cap rates, a cap rate differential between the A, B, and C class. And so that being said, I mean, hey, if you can find a C class deal where the yield is worth the risk of buying that, then it can be a good opportunity. For me personally, though, I'm looking for, say B and A class properties. And I think now with interest rates being as high as they are, my long-term view is interest rates are going to go down again. So I think hey, if you find a deal now, it pencils out for the type of returns that you're looking for. I think as long as you put the right type of debt on it, you'll be fine. But it's just a matter of finding the deals that pencil and putting the right type of debt on.
Oh, awesome. So it all comes down to what are your yields? What when you underwrite, what particular pounds out in terms of return and the debt on top of that particular apartment.
Right. And, and there's no right or wrong class of apartments. I mean, some guys, they practice in the C class space. That's what they love. That's what they're primed to do. And they have teams that can manage that stuff. Hey, if that's what you do it. I mean, so, I can't say if it's just right or wrong, but just me personally, now I'm still buying, A and B class. Also looking at ground up development now. So.
Okay.